I still can't believe that this weekend World Cup qualifying kicks off in South America, plus Euro qualifying continues across Europe, obviously. It's a lot of football, though, Sarah, and it seems to come at just the wrong time every single year. We're just into that comfy domestic European zone, right, when we're enjoying our weekends, and then in comes the international window. Is it too soon?
Yeah, I mean, like, we just got settled. 4 matches in the Prem, La Liga, 3 in the Serie A. Like, we're just finally starting to see these teams starting to get into the flow. And then, yeah, international break. Everyone's traveling all over the world, so we know next week is going to be an absolute bust for club football, as it always is, because the time change and the amount of football these guys are playing. But listen, I love international football when it comes to Copa America, the Euros, the World Cup, just like anyone else. But these qualifiers, I mean, like, they hold a lot of weight. And listen, some teams are like really playing for everything here. But yeah, I just got club football back.
We were just getting into routines too.
Yeah,
our
that's
morning
what it
routines.
is.
Sharon's you getting your coffee in bed in the
My
morning.
breakfast is last weekend as well. I know.
And now you won't be doing that this weekend.
Well, I do love international football. I look at the schedule. I peruse the schedule and decide. But I mean, what I can't believe is that World Cup qualifying kicks off in South America now.
I know.
48-team World Cup coming in, of course, in Mexico, States, and Canada, which means 6, maybe 7 of the 10 South American teams will qualify
That's
this time around.
exciting.
It's a bit much.
A bit. The same thing with Euros, right? More teams. It's just more teams. More. We're talking about us and how this is ruining our weekends. Meanwhile, the players got to play extra matches and 20 minutes of added injury time. So it's going to be taxing on these players.
Very taxing.
Especially the ones that have to go from Europe to South America, the Gabby Jesuses and whatnot.
And if you come back and you're playing in the Europa League too, more travel.
Yeah.
Right? You got to think about those players.
Yeah.
Oh, think about the poor players.
You gotta
have
think about the
right? You just
players,
have to. All right, Sarah. Is there one story above all else that you're focusing on this weekend?
Yeah, and it's going to be Lamine Yamal, called up to the Spanish national team. 16 years old. We know just a few weeks back he got his debut in La Liga as one of the youngest players to ever debut in the league, and now he's getting called up to the national team. It's a really exciting time for Spain. They're obviously sitting in 4th now. They lost to Scotland. They need to win these games, and they have such a young, promising team that I think they're going to be playing really exciting football. So hopefully he gets some playing time. We get to see him play with other players that aren't just his Barca teammates, such as Nico Williams maybe. So I'm just really excited that there's a lot of potential here, and he's really fun to watch. You like seeing the young players come through and just see what they're capable of.
Well, we need some positive news from Spanish football, don't we?
Oh,
Let's be honest. What it's going to lurk in there, though, is that Luis de la Fuente, the manager, is a real ally of Rubiales. Now, obviously, you can't really be guilty through association, so he's doing a good job to a certain degree. They won the Nations League, but of course qualifying hasn't been great so far.
Yeah.
But there is that spectre hanging over, I think, the Spanish side, even with these young players coming in.
Yeah, I think naturally there is, but I'm going to keep the focus on the players like I did with the women, and that they won the World Cup and they have a really talented side, and this men's team won the Nations League and they also have a really talented side, so I'm just going to focus on that, and we'll see what happens behind the scenes with the ongoing Rubiales situation, but let's look at what these players can do, because, I mean, this could be a really good team for a really long time again.
Well, Alvaro Morata did read a statement out supporting Hermoso and demanding change. So that was something. Iglesias is still, he's not playing, right? He said he wouldn't play until Rubiales is officially fired.
I don't know if he'd be called up. Not that I'm saying that there's anything.
Is it like,
no, but
I'm
to
not
be
playing
fair,
for them,
I think that what he did was really courageous and really, really important. But I don't know if it would have affected him being called up anyways. I think it's just great that he's standing with the players. That's what's important to me. But I'm not sure if he would have made the team.
Was he with them at the World Cup? I don't think he was.
No.
Right, yeah, he wasn't.
So,
yeah, I guess maybe it's easier to make those statements.
Yeah, I refuse. I will not play for England.
No, I don't want to take shots
I will not
at
play
the
for
guy,
England, until the government sorts itself out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
Hey, good for him for supporting. But when I heard that name, I'm like, I don't think he's even in the picture.
Yeah.
Bodie, what storyline are you focusing on?
Yeah, just a few teams that are, I think, in must-win territory, as you see on the lower there in your I was going to say Europa League, Euro 2024 qualifying.
Yeah.
Spain being one of those teams, but they only played 2 matches in their group. The other teams played 3 or 4, just 3 points from the 2 games played. They have Georgia and Cyprus coming up, but them and Netherlands are in a interesting position, because this time around, if you are in a Nations League group A, B, or C, even if you don't qualify in the top 2, you'll be in a playoff.
Yeah.
So regardless, Spain's going to have a chance to crack the 2024 Euros. Obviously, Netherlands as well. They've played 2 matches, 3 points from there. They have Greece and Ireland. Ireland have played 3 matches, need points as well. So there's a few teams that really need to pick up wins in this window.
Yeah, huge teams. What do you make of the whole Netherlands, Louis van Gaal, suggesting that the World Cup may have been somewhat fixed in Messi and Argentina's favour?
Sounds like he's a bit salty.
Why is he still
A
talking
a
about
little bit whiny baby kind of vibes from that.
I don't know why he's still talking about
it. Just makes him look really bad. Like, you were the coach of that team, and don't get me wrong, that was maybe one of the best World Cup games we saw. Like, that was so exciting. But like, you're coming out now, how many months after, and saying this, like, just
And you're putting your
stop.
players under unnecessary pressures from the
No
media
need for
too. Right? Van Dijk was asked about it. He's like, yeah, he didn't tell us anything. We don't agree. Everyone has their own opinion. I don't know why he said that.
Yeah.
Now it's just it's a weird cloud hanging over this Dutch team who really need to win.
They have to win, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that team could be so great on a given day, but then recently, really poor
Yeah.
on a given day. Italy have also been up and
Yeah.
down more than any other team, right? Because you win Euro, you fell for 2 World Cups in the process, but they got a new manager, Luciano Spalletti. I'm watching that. I think it's really interesting. Replacing Roberto Mancini. We know what Spalletti did last year with Napoli. They won for the first time in 33 years, playing this incredible, attacking, flowing football. Will Italy do that with some really good young players there? I'm really interested in that. I love his comments about why he took this job, because Spalletti was on a sabbatical, right? He goes, I'm just burnt out from the Napoli experience. So he comes back quite soon, actually, to this job, maybe the biggest job. In fact, it is the biggest job in the country. And he goes, it's an indescribable emotion. I feel like a mountaineer who goes to put the flag on Mont Blanc. For me, this is the highest task received in my history as a coach. He's coaching big teams. It's the biggest teams in Italy. So I love that. He says he must bring back the spirit, which Mancini brought back for that Euro experience. But how do you do that? Well, you bring back Gigi Buffon as a coach. I love that hire, by the way. It's superb. No one showed more emotion when singing the anthems than Gigi Buffon.
yeah.
What a leader he was for years and years. He retired last year from club football, and now he's back with the staff, with the Azzurri. I think it's a great, great move. Should be interesting.
Question for you guys. Ciro Immobile named captain of Italy.
Yeah.
Bit odd. Not really sure about that.
I mean,
Experienced.
he's probably one of the most senior players on the squad.
For
at the
sure,
moment.
but he's definitely not one of the best. Would I start
Yeah,
him?
but
Absolutely.
captain doesn't mean
Who's
best
gonna,
player.
Yeah. Is he going to start?
Well, Bonucci wasn't called up, right?
Probably.
Yeah, which
So-
I also don't think he should have been. But I don't know if you're starting Ciro Immobile. I wouldn't. Personally, me, I would not. And there's no disrespect
Who
to
would
him.
you start over Immobile?
I mean, I'm looking at who they have here. They have Raspadori, they have Zaniolo, they have Politano, Chiesa. Like, these are all guys
Not
that are
great
gonna,
options, but Chiesa plays on the wing. Immobile is the only guy who's a true number 9. Right? Zaniolo just got kicked out of
I'll
Roma.
say this, it's not too
That
often
doesn't-
that strikers get the armband. It does happen. Harry Kane, for example,
Yeah,
for his
yeah, for
country.
sure.
Ronaldo, obviously,
yeah.
right? But, usually it's like, let them focus on just scoring goals.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about the burden of having the armband. But if he rates him, I mean, why not? It's a pretty young team. Some young players coming through that system right now. Maybe you go for the experience. Listen, he's a rated player. He's going to start every game,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I think you're right, though. I think captains are really overrated.
I don't
There's
think
leadership
they're
groups.
overrated. I just don't think that captain necessarily has to be the best player. I mean, it's the voice in
I
the
don't
room
think it's the
usually.
best. I don't think so, but I'm just wondering, like, if he gets the start. Like, I don't know. I just think that Italy had such an issue with continuously bringing these old players that are maybe just, a little withered, if you will. But this has been an issue for them for the last 5-6 years. And now it seems like, okay, you have a new manager. Maybe it's like a rebirth. These are qualifiers for the Euros, which are less than a year away. And this is the same kind of thing going on. If I'm the Italian team, that makes me worried. But let's see how they do.
Italy's had a problem for quite a while with strikers. They haven't had one for a long. Like
Who was the last
have
one?
they gone
I'm
through?
trying
Like
to think.
Graziano Pelle.
Good call.
The one who was at West Ham. I can't remember his name now.
I think the last one was Rossi in 1982.
Oh, my goodness.
That's not true.
True, no, it's
That's
not.
not true.
No, but a true number 9 since they last won the 2006 World Cup hasn't been there. I don't think.
I just can't believe that I heard Pereira use the term withered to describe
Nice.
old footballers. That is
Yeah.
so offensive to old footballers.
Lots.
That's it.
He's still. I I think, a pretty good striker. I don't know.
I don't think he's a bad striker. I'm saying this has just been an issue with the Italian team for so long that if they're still going to rely on this, it makes me worried that they're not changing their motives, that they need to be going into the young players and looking towards them. It's nothing against Ciro Immobile. It's just that it hasn't worked for a while.
Although, think about this, Buffon's now on the staff, right? He knows this team really well. He was playing there not so long ago, right? He wore the armband for many a game. He knows Immobile, so I'm sure they had conversations about who is the right fit, but we'll see.
Curious to see. I think that's exactly it.
They're playing North Macedonia, of course, who broke the hearts of a nation when they crashed out of qualifying for the last World Cup. So
they have to qualify.
Ukraine after that, so tough games. But
was it back-to-back World Cups, right? They missed out on, and now they're the reigning champions.
After winning
the
Euros in between,
I don't know. It makes no sense.
Does Renzo Insigne get called up?
Who?
No.
Bernardeschi?
No.
No chance?
Javinko? No.
Why not? It's training.
Well, they need strikers.
Yeah.
They need goal scorers.
Yeah, they do.
We'll see.
And he was pretty good. Both of them, actually. Bernardeschi and Insigne at that Euros.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Listen, the Premier League's off this weekend, as we've complained about, which gives you an extra week to get your picks in for 442picks.ca. It's free to play, lots of money to win, so sign up as soon as you can. Room 442 is brought to you by North Star Bets. That's a win.